And we are back with part two of the reasons why Samantha Markle defamation case against the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan Markle, was dismissed. And so let's get into it where we left off from. So the court balanced the harm produced by a delay in discovery against the possibility that the court will grant the motion to dismiss. In so doing, the court ruled that Meghan did not satisfy the high standards for the stay of discovery pending the resolution of a dispositive motion. And so remember, this case, jurisdiction for this case was Florida. And so in Florida, there's two separate defamation. You have libel and slander, and libel is defamation that is expressed in print, and slander, on the other hand, is a spoken or oral defamation of another, which is published to others and which tends to damage that person's reputation, ability to conduct that person's business or profession, and which holds that person up to disgrace and humiliation. So in order for there to be a case, in order for you to prove your case for defamation, there's 5 elements. And the first is publication. Whatever you are saying that defamed your character or your reputation, you have to prove that it was published. And 2, that whatever was published is false. And 3, that the actor acted with knowledge or reckless disregard as to the falsity of the publication on a matter concerning a public official, or at least negligently on a matter concerning a private person. Now, when you say public official, you're making reference to someone who is known to the public, who is out there. It could be a minister, it could be a senator, it could be a representative in the House, and it could also be a figure such as celebrities. Okay? 4, actual damages. And 5, that the statement was defamatory. Samantha claims that the Duchess of Sussex, Meghan, defamed her in her unauthorized biography named Finding Freedom when she made false statements. She also states that Meghan defamed her in the infamous CBS Oprah Winfrey interview, and that as a result of that defamation, she suffered damages. Samantha claimed that she suffered damages because, 1, she lived in a small city in Florida, and the book and the interview led to her fan base becoming angry at her. She suffered anxiety, emotional distress. She suffered irreparable prejudice, injury, and harm. Further, that she was seen as opportunistic. She received hate mail, negative press, and she was unable to work as a mental health counselor. First off, this is the way the court reasoned whether or not, first, whatever you said defamed your character was published. The court looked at the book, Finding Freedom, and said that Finding Freedom was not published nor written by Meghan Markle. So the court noted that Florida Supreme Court states that publication is an element of defamation. Therefore, because the publication of a statement is a necessary element of defamation action, only one who publishes can be subject to this form of tort liability. Remember, Meghan never published, she never written. She may have assisted, she may have given information, but the law is saying published. The tort of injurious falsehood protects the economic interests of an injured party against pecuniary loss, in contrast to defamation, which protects the personal reputation of the injured party. And in the case, it makes reference to this case. It goes on to say, so the gist of injurious falsehoods is intentional interference with another's economic relations. The elements of an injurious falsehood claims are: 1. Falsehood. It has to be false. 2. That has been published or communicated to a third person. 3. When the defendant or publisher slash publisher, remember there would be one and the same person. When the defendant publisher knows or reasonably should know that it will likely result in inducing others not to deal with the plaintiff. And 4. In fact, the falsehood does play a material and substantial part in inducing others not to deal with the plaintiff. 5. Special damages are approximately caused as a result of the published falsehood. Remember, Meghan did not publish the book. So the court stated additionally, any injurious falsehood claim requires 1. A falsehood, 2. That has been published. Thus, the plaintiff's injurious falsehood claim is subject to dismissal because of the absence of the falsehood and or because the defendant did not publish the statements in the Finding Freedom book. So in conclusion, for the foregoing reasons, the court grants the motion to dismiss. 1. The plaintiff's claim based on Finding Freedom will be dismissed with prejudice, as the plaintiff cannot plausibly allege that the defendant published the book, and amendment of these claims would be futile. So the court is saying, even if we allow Samantha to amend her claims, because it is a fact that Meghan never write, much less publish, a book, Finding Freedom, then really and truly there is no case. There is no case against Meghan that she published. So really the court doesn't even have to go to the second element, because publish never occurred by the defendant, Meghan, in this case. And the court said the plaintiff will be allowed, and when we say plaintiff, we're talking about Samantha. So Samantha will be allowed one final opportunity to appeal her claims related to defendant's CBS interview and her claims for injurious falsehood. So this is what the court ruled on. The court said the defendant's motion to dismiss for failure to state a claim is granted. So Meghan got her dismissal. So her motion to dismiss is granted. 2. The plaintiff's defamation claim based on the contents of the book Finding Freedom are dismissed with prejudice, which means Samantha cannot bring back another claim alleging defamation as it relates to Finding Freedom book. 3, which is interesting now. The plaintiff's defamation claims based on the defendant's CBS interview, that's the Oprah Winfrey interview, and her claim for injurious falsehood are dismissed without prejudice. And what that means is the plaintiff, Samantha, as the court has instructed here, may file an amended complaint within 14 days of this order. And that means when she filed that amended complaint, then she can bring it back. However, if you look at the notes, what the court was saying, it seemed as though even if she bring it back, she might have a slim chance. The reason for that is, in the trial, Samantha paraphrased what was said in the CBS interview, the transcript. And so while she said Meghan made some false claims that defamed her, when you look at the transcript, what was there in the transcript could be interpreted differently. And so we will have to see what transpires. First of all, we're going to have to see if Samantha will refile within the 14 days. This decision was handed down the 31st of March, which means Samantha has up to the 14th, more likely the 14th, I believe, to file that. Well, the court said 14 days. and then we shall see. Um, so here again, we dealt with what was, what does prejudice, with prejudice and without prejudice means. As I explained earlier, with prejudice means they cannot bring it again, and without prejudice means that she can refile. And based on the court's instruction, she can refile within 14 days. And so the statements in the CBS interview that Samantha is complaining of does not, this is what the court said. The statements in the CBS interview that Samantha is complaining of does not seem to suggest defamation. And this was brought out by the judge. The judge basically said the allegation in the complaint does not meet the legal definition of defamation. So while Samantha may refile, the interview transcript is what it is. So it will be interesting to see whether or not she refiles, and if she refiles, what will be the decision as it relates to that. And so, sadly, we're at the end of our recording, and so we thank you for watching. And again, I ask to please subscribe to my channel and help me grow. If you like my content, please like, comment, share, and as usual, subscribe. And to that end, I say thank you. Do have a wonderful day. Thank you for listening, and I hope you all appreciate the information that we put forward in this video. Thank you.